We're live on YouTube. Okay, we're live on YouTube. Oh, okay. Just turn that off. One second. And let's put in the chat box area. I see some new people hopping in here. Put in the chat area where you're tuning in from, which part of the world you're in. We had two people earlier say India, New Mexico, Lima, Peru, Honduras, Irvine, nice. Irvine, California. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. There'll be some people hopping in here for sure. There was some announcements that were just sent a bit late. Usually I do start earlier on this, to give some people some time to hop in, but had a couple things going on before this. So let's go ahead and get started. So today there's going to be some announcements. There's also going to be technical analysis as usual, and I'm going to be including training inside of this. So don't miss out on that training. I promise you, this is something that's going to help you out with your trading. And I'll be doing the back testing and showing exactly in detail how to use a strategy. And all of these strategies, just so you know, can apply not just to the Forex market, but can apply into crypto, stocks, really anything that has like candlestick charts. You're going to be able to use this strategy here. So first off, let's start with a poll. I'm going to launch it right now for everyone that's inside of the Zoom. Those that are on YouTube cannot see this. But I just launched it now. If you can please write which currency pair you would like me to analyze, and whichever one's the top ones, I will be through. Let's see, Euro USD and Euro USD is up. GBP USD tied now. USD CHF. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be starting with, actually gold. I had to scroll down for this one. Gold seems to be in first right now. See, someone said GJ. I know that there's going to be currency pairs that are not on the list, so you can put it in the chat area if it's not on the screen. So I saw someone said GJ, someone else said BTC. So the main currency pairs are, I'm mainly going to be trading the Forex pairs, or it's usually what I do, but I can look at other things as well, like gold and Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and start. We'll actually start with gold since I was in first place. So we're going to put up my chart here. And again, I know there's some more people that just hopped in. Today, there's going to be some training included, not just the technical analysis. So stay tuned there. Probably in about like 15 minutes or so, we'll be starting the training. For now, let's just do analysis. Okay. So looking at gold, I'm just going to go ahead and this. Actually, I think it was last Tuesday. Last Tuesday, I was looking at gold. I did this one live as well. And one thing that I had predicted last week, which played out this week, was that gold was going to reverse. At the time, it was around this area here. As you can see, Tuesday, actually, this was the 3rd. So it was a while back, actually. Was it somewhere here? I think it was here predicting it was going to go up. Yeah, that makes sense because there's that push coming up like that. So, so yeah, last week I expected for gold to rise up. It did go up and it went up into resistance area right here and then came back down. So as of now, we do see that gold is headed downwards. So I would say it does have to touch this area first, and then it will start doing its reversal, kind of doing like a triple bottom here. But in the meantime, we're just going to kind of wait this out. If you do want to scalp on this, I'm just going to erase everything. So if you're looking to scalp this, let's see. Okay. So I'm looking at this. There might be some reaction that's going to happen right here and then push up into the 0% area. But just from looking at this, I wouldn't place a trade because it's in an area where it's not really telling you anything. It's not a strong downtrend. It's kind of consolidating sideways. If we pull up like everything here, it's ranging sideways. So wouldn't really be getting in on anything here. Don't recommend anything. Let's look at the next one. And by the way, so at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, so you can see at the bottom right here at 7:14 my time. So at 7:30, we'll be starting the training portion. And I know one person in here, I saw their name here. They know what I'm going to be talking about just because I was on a call with them earlier and was going through it. So it's definitely a really good strategy that will help you out with your trading. Just stay tuned there about 15 minutes. Okay, so next thing here, actually, let me see where UJ's on. Okay, so no one voted for UJ. That's sad. Everyone voted for almost everything else except UJ. But I made some good profit on it. I actually scalped this one very quick. It's actually part of the strategy that I'm gonna be discussing about today. So yeah, very, very, very good strategy, but it dropped even lower than expected on UJ. So overall, UJ's in the downtrend, and it broke towards the upside, but still had some reversal right there. So yeah, next one. So gold was in first place. The next one is going to be Euro USD. So let's check that one out. Euro USD, I also caught this one for a sell earlier. It was actually a really nice sell. This one I did call a signal for, which was perfect, and it hit its take profit. Its take profit was really, really nice. Actually, like right when I called it, the momentum just spiked. So it was a little hard for some people to get in on just because it was pretty fast. You can see in the 15-minute time frame, this happened like in 1 hour. Within 1 hour, it was already like in its take profit and further down. Um, yeah, looking at top down analysis on uh, Euro USD, erasing everything from far away. I'm actually going to look further out just to look for anything major here. So one thing I do notice is this main zone. And then I'm just going to point out this area. Okay, so right now currently Euro USD is at its low on like bigger time frames. It's broke this area, so it is continuing the downtrend momentum. But what must come down must come up. Because this is a monthly time frame, keep in mind that it will most likely come up, and this entire movement can take years. So it's at a major support area. It's been going down for a while, and this is mainly off the USD. Again, if you're in the last session, USD has 80% of the market's volatility. So I do expect for the DXY to be reversing in the beginning of the year. So looking at the dollar index, the dollar index actually did what I predicted. So last week I was showing this, how it was expected to come down into this area. And then now that it's in this area, it's expected to push up. So if this pushes up, the dollar will increase, which means the euro will go down. So I'm just going to look at this, and we don't know for sure if it's going to bounce off of here, because technically looking at this, it is doing its lower low, lower high. So it is possible right here that it can break through. I don't see really any major reversal pattern on here, but there's still that chance. So I'm going to keep an eye out on that. But so from here, I also don't see any major big reversal pattern. I do see, as far as structure though, it's doing its higher highs. So right now it's at the low area. So most likely from here, it's expected to shoot up, probably to about there. So just keeping that in mind, and let's see if maybe the 4-hour shows us anything. As of now, I don't see anything here. Yeah, we would have to wait a bit more for structure on this one, because I do think it might come up like this, and then it might come down maybe to about here, and then it would decide to do its breakout. But in the meantime, I'd wait a little bit longer for structure, because we don't know what type of push will happen here. It could push down or it could push up. So nothing too clear. Okay, let's go on to the next one. And we still got about 10 minutes, and then we'll start doing the training. I don't know if you, this is not a sponsored ad or anything like that, but there's this company, Zoa. It's from Dwayne Johnson. I'm trying it out for the first time. It's actually pretty decent. Zoa energy drink. Okay, next one we have GBP USD. So Euro USD and GBP USD are correlation pairs. So if I'm expecting this type of movement to happen for Euro USD, we'll most likely see the same thing on GBP USD. So pulling this up, GBP USD. And I actually did write it down. Potentially this type of movement. Let me just check something. Let me adjust. Yeah, so potentially this type of movement, currently now it's coming down. Coming down and maybe might do a strong reaction off 38.2. So we'll keep that on the lookout. Had a strong movement coming up 2 sessions ago. I did mention about the flagpole patterns in Forex. You can actually see right here. So this type of movement is kind of what I see with GBP USD. Strong push, consolidation. And I actually notice these flagpole patterns usually happen during areas where you see it going to 38.2 on the Fibonacci. So just keeping that in mind. Also notice like a strong area of resistance right here, just hitting its support. So there might be that strong reaction happening earlier than usual. So right here, it might not continue to drop. That strong reaction will continue pushing up starting from here. It might be like kind of a double bottom reversal from here, not even hit here. It'll probably just break through, just from what I'm seeing. Now let me look at this a little bit more back. It is overall in a downtrend, so we want to be careful on that. So okay. So right now it's around that resistance area. This is where it gets a little bit tricky here, just because there's potential for price to reverse and continue to drop down from here. So this actually, from what I see here, had a strong push coming down and then consolidation here, right? Kind of uptrend, but still consolidation. If you look back at these flagpole patterns, I'm gonna show you all this here. We go to images. So it also applies going downwards like this. So you see this bearish pennant. So this bearish pennant is kind of what's happening there with GBP USD. If you see, comes down and then kind of like a consolidation like that. Like here, comes down, consolidation like this, kind of being trapped, and then it's supposed to push down after that. You can see it better right here. So it's like a reverse flagpole. And actually most of these patterns that you can see for like uptrends will apply the same thing for a downtrend. You just have to kind of envision it like if you flip your chart backwards. So one way to see it backwards is if I put USD GBP. So it's kind of like a strong push. Is this exactly? Yeah, so like a strong push coming up and then kind of like a flagpole pattern, right? For some people, they find it easier seeing it backwards. You can't trade USD GBP. You can only trade GBP USD. That's just the way it is. So yeah, potentially going to first. What time is it? 7:26. Okay. Looks like we probably have about time for one more, and then we'll get started with the training. Okay, next one. We will do AUD USD. AUD USD. By the way, you do not want to miss out for this live analysis here. One sec, check something. Okay. So let's do. There's a couple that are tied right here, so we'll go with AUD USD. Was this last week? Yeah, last week I called the buy for AUD USD. So I actually placed this like while I was on the live. So this one went straight into that area. I don't know if it hit that exact price, but I remember I closed out when it was like up here. Because it was hitting the zone, and yeah, it just didn't reach like higher into it. It just barely touched it, so it was about here, and then it did its reversal. One sec. Someone said their phone. Can everyone hear me, just to make sure? If you can, put a yes in the chat box area. Okay, so everyone can hear me. It's just I'll just write it out. This person's having trouble with their mic settings. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back here, erase everything, do my top-down analysis here. So let's look far out. Overall, this entire area here seems to be like a rejection area, so keep that in mind. Something else that I can see based off of like the bigger time frame structure, if you can see, like this is the lowest the market ever goes usually for AUD USD. Like it doesn't go below 45 cents, right? 0.45. So that being said, it's in a strong area where it's probably going to reverse, and therefore like mainly looking to buy. So, and also keeping in mind here the type of pattern that it's doing, the market structure, you can see it clearly here. This is most likely that final area, and then it'll reverse. It'll most likely look exactly like this. So it's going to reverse. This is long term. Maybe come back down like this, and then continue to rise. So that'll take some time because I'm on the monthly time frame. So let's zoom in. Oh, also, yeah, indecisive candle for the month of October. So usually for like indecisive candles, what happens is a reversal. If you think about this one pattern, which is called bearish engulfing. It's actually bullish engulfing. So bullish, whatever it is, engulfing. As long as you can know that it's engulfing, that's what matters here. So we have a actually, it's not even engulfing that I'm talking about. It's Morningstar. So Morningstar pattern will look like this. Red candlestick, indecisive, which is what it's showing on the monthly right now. For the month of October, it was indecisive. And then now going on to November, we should be seeing this right here. So before this movement even happens, I can already kind of predict what's going to happen in the future. And that's important even to see on the monthly time frame. So like right now, this is the new month, which just started now. And we should most likely be seeing a green candlestick like that. So keeping that in mind, now we can go on to the smaller time frame. Now, the smaller time frame actually shows us that engulfing that I was showing earlier. So that's usually what will happen. You'll notice like patterns within patterns. So the pattern that we see on the weekly is kind of like this: a green bigger than the red. So green's bigger than the red. And so that means like we can be expecting for a reversal. Now, this is where you can start noticing structure patterns on the smaller time frame. So based off this daily, I can see like a inverted head and shoulders right here. The left shoulder is perfectly lining up with the left shoulder. Now we just have to wait for that to reverse. So right now it's in the buy zone to reverse as an early entry. So this is my early entry area. Early entry. Let's look for 4 hour because I'm probably going to get in like right now. 4 hour, this is showing a clear uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows. Right now it's at the low, so it's expected to go down. Rejecting off this area here. Let's see if I can spot more things. 1 hour. Okay, so we are about to place a buy right now. Checked off here. Right now the current price is right there. Yeah, so long term, it's gonna reach up into this area here. Not for sure. Again, I can't say 100% for sure, but just based off of analysis here. Ooh. This is the only thing that I don't like, is that it hasn't broken this structure, this resistance, unless I force myself to think that it's here, but it's really kind of like this. Okay. I will be doing a trade on this one. AUD USD. One sec, let me I'm just gonna do this, and then we'll get into the training portion here soon. Okay. Here, I'll bring this over here so everyone can see. One second. Just doing some quick calculation, and then we'll get started. Stop loss in pips. This one's going to be about 100 pip stop loss. UJ. Okay. So I'm getting around a Okay, it is active now. So yeah, profits on this when it hits about 2,600, loss about the same. So there we go. By the way, there's some people that are sending private messages. Just make sure that you change the to setting to everyone in the meeting so everyone can see your questions. Okay, let's get started with the training. A little bit behind on time, but we should be fine. Okay, so the time we've all been waiting for. Let me turn off the focus music. Okay. Take out your pen and papers because it's about to go down. Okay. Now, seriously though, let's get to it. So here we go. Okay. So first things first, let's get into the strategy here. All right. So inside of the Market Masters Academy training, I'm about to log in here. And by the way, there's going to be more than just a training, so stay in there because there's some good stuff. But yeah, so inside of here, which section was it in? It was I'm just going to go here. Pull up. I think it was cheat sheet 1 section. Some of you probably saw it on my story. I was mentioning this on my Instagram. But there's a section here that mentions about gaps. So this strategy that I'm going to be covering is going to be about gaps specifically. Now, you can read these sections, stuff related to like price gaps and everything like that. But the main thing that I've noticed when it comes to gaps is going to be, let me pull this chart up. So there's actually this this indicator that you can add onto your chart. If you go to indicators and search up gaps, you can add it on there. It's free to add on. And so what gaps are is basically when the market closes and it opens, or if there's like a difference in price from open and close, and it has this gap. With this tool right here, it'll mark it down. So if you can see, like, this was a distance of the entire gap from the open and close. Actually from the close to the open. So this gap, it's in this level. And basically what I've been noticing is every single time that market goes into this area, expect for a market reversal. So right after the gap, expect for market to come up into that area and then reverse. Okay. So like, so here it touched into this area and then it reversed. So it's kind of like if the price is below, it will be like a resistance area. Okay. So anytime you see this, this is kind of, I usually don't use like sell limits or buy limits. So this is going to be an area where you can place a sell limit. For example, right here, like I placed a sell, my stop loss was given some distance. So it did allow like a little bit past it, as you can see it happened here, but then it dropped and then it hit my take profit. So where I was aiming for was, and I actually should have, for this area of reversal, it should have been this level right here. So my take profit should have been right here, just because of the first level of support. So what I look for is I look for my target, my take profit to be the first support level. So this is considered the first one. Then second one would be considered like this head of this kind of left head, this inverted head and shoulders right here. But then it happened again, it hit here. So anytime in the future, this box could be brought into the future. And let's just say market comes up and it hits into this area. Just look for the reversal. Look for some signs that tell you that it's going to reverse. It might happen real quick. So if you notice a strong reaction real quick, just place the sell. Or you might notice like a reversal pattern, like for example, right here, it kind of gave a triple top. So it gave 1, 2, 3. It was slanted up. There was divergence right here on the RSI. And the breakout happened right there. So you could place a sell right here. Sell, and I would have aimed for all the way down here, this area of support. So risk to reward is usually going to be good. So this is just one example, right? So let's do some more back tests so you can see. So like right here. So you'll see like in this area right here, it actually instantly came up, it hit it, and then it dropped down. And then if I drag this into the future, it kind of goes into this area and then drops down. But just know that the momentum of the market when it's here should be having some push coming down. So this is just for US 30, by the way, but you can also use it on any currency pairs. So like this right here, market had a gap right here, and you can see multiple times where it hit. Could have looked for sell opportunities right here to aim for this area of support. Came back up, hit like resistance, and then back down. And then started downtrend reversal from there. But yeah, so many different areas that you'll spot it. And when you do see it, just stay on the lookout for that movement. And so right now I'm on the 15-minute time frame. Another thing is like let's do like daily. So right now I'm on the daily, and you can see it drew out this box right here because it had a gap. So I don't need to do my gap line, but you can see it perfectly touched, and then it reversed. Strong reversal coming after that. Here in the future, if I was to drag this further out, it was playing like support and resistance. So it hit here, it bounced, and then it broke through, and then it hit like resistance right there. So if you were to see this, let's say if you were to see this live, like this, and you see market is coming up, and you see that it's that zone right there, what you're going to be looking for is just going to be an area for reversal. When it starts reaching into that area, zoom into a smaller time frame, like a sniper, and you want to try to spot out for a sell right there. It's a perfect opportunity. If you would have been able to catch that, you would have aimed for like, now this is a daily, so there's a lot of pips right here, but this entire move right here took about, let's say, took about 13 days, so 2 weeks. Now you can do like this whole trade, wait 13 days for one trade, or what you can do is, and this is what I usually do if you're doing day trading, is this entire area would be your sell zone. So you only look to sell in this entire area. And the smaller time frames will give you those opportunities. So like right here, ooh, easy. Like I would have saw this. If you wanted to wait for the breakout, I know this would have dropped at least this distance. So I would have placed a sell right here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I've never used that term before, but I've heard it somewhere. So so yeah, that's one of the strategies that is very useful. And I'm actually going to look for one more just to show you this is insane. So let's see. Okay. So here's one right here. Now, this one did not hit and reject. It looked like it was ranging sideways. I can see like it kind of stopped for a little bit, was thinking about it, but then it broke through. Probably was major news or something like that. But here's the thing, and this is why it's important to drag this coming across in the future, because anytime in the future that price hits into this area, it can make the price go in from an uptrend to a downtrend. If I drag this further out, you can see how it probably perfectly, let me see. So it like kind of perfectly hit here and then it bounced up. There's other areas where I see gaps as well. Like here, price was here, came back down, hit this area of the gap, and then it bounced up. Now this is perfect because this is getting to my next strategy. And I can see it right here. This candlestick. So there's different types of candlesticks. I already discussed like two of them here. There was like the engulfing and the evening star, if you saw earlier. But this one here is very, very good candlestick to look at. So the candlestick will look just like this, one of them. So when price is coming down, this candlestick will show at the bottom sometimes. And this one is called the hammer. So the way the hammer looks like, you can see it right there, but I'll just draw it on the side. It has a small body like this, and then a wick at the bottom, a long wick like this. The body has to be more than 50%. Like if I was to measure the distance from here and here, I usually eye this out. So let's just say from here and here, this is like the distance from the lowest point of that wick. I look for at least like more than 50%. So this is maybe about 50% right here. So like a little bit higher, anywhere like here and higher is considered valid for me. So if you look at this right here, the 50% mark is kind of about, maybe about here. So I'm just eyeing it out. And so from this bottom of the wick to this top of the body, that's about 50%. And so since I know that it's higher than the 50% mark, that's considered a valid hammer pattern. Now, the way to trade this is going to be so right now I'm on the daily time frame. I usually don't do this on the daily time frame, but any time frame, they all have their own candles. So the same applies to any time frame. If you're trying to scalp, go to like the 15-minute. If you're trying to do day trading, do like the 1 hour and the 4 hour. If you're trying to do like longer term trades, then daily, weekly, and look at this. But so the way that this strategy works is this time frame that I'm on is a daily. Okay, so this candle takes a whole day, and then for the next calendar day, it'll open a new candle. So what I'll do is after I see the pattern, I have to confirm that it's for sure formed. So I see that it's formed, and then the next day starts. When the next day starts, that's when I can place a trade for a buy, because this type of candlestick, it's predicting that the market's going to push up. Now I put stop loss somewhere below the wick. Where you put it, that's up to you, but somewhere below the wick, not too tight where it's like at the wick, but like a little bit below. And then the first take profit, where you want to aim for take profit, is going to be an area of resistance. So I would aim for right about here. And as long as the risk to reward looks good and everything looks good, that's how you place a trade. You place it based off of this candlestick formation, and after this candle closes at the next open. So for now, I'm gonna be back testing the hammer pattern just so you all understand hammers, and then we'll get into the other one as well. So and like I mentioned, everything is the same pretty much, the opposite way. So like if I see a hammer, I just look for the opposite pattern on the opposite side. So like the hammers, I'm looking for that on the lows, but there's another pattern that I'm looking for on the highs. So let's look for a hammer here. And another thing about the hammers is I like looking for them in an area where I'm expecting for price to reverse off of. So that example that I showed over here, wherever that was at, it was based off of an area where it's expected to reverse, based off that gap pattern that I just showed you. But let's just say like, okay, maybe I might be able to spot something on these lows. So let's see. Okay, don't notice the patterns here, so no. Okay, let's see this area of support right here. Perfect. So this is an area of support, which means it's an area where price is expected to bounce off of in the future. And I don't see any hammer here. I don't see any hammer here, but I do see the hammer here. And if you can see, it's a long wick right here. And the 50% mark is somewhere about maybe here. So the body did close above. That's perfect. That's exactly what I need. And so this is a 4-hour time frame. So after this 4 hours, the next 4 hours, I would place my trade, the start of the next 4 hour. So I'd place a long position because that's what I'm looking for. And I would place it right here. Stop loss would be right below the wick. Take profit would be the first area of resistance, which technically I would aim for about here. Now, the only bad thing about this is the risk to reward is not so good. It's a little more than 1-to-1 ratio. You would take more of a loss than a win. It's around 1-to-1, but still 1-to-1. So for this type of scenario, like you could aim for 1-to-1 at least. I usually like looking for 1-to-2, 1-to-3. So because it has a big wick, that's why our stop loss is longer. But you can see, even though this strategy works, like you would have hit your take profit, you would have been out on the trade, made money. Okay, so look for any major area of support and spot its reversal. Spot that pattern. Here I can see here. You can see like this area of support, bounce, right? There's two hammers right here. There's one right here, So I could have entered in for a buy right here. Take profit would have been up here. Stop loss below. So this is why you kind of want to give it some room to breathe, because, just in case if it comes down like this, it got really close to stop loss. You don't want to have it too tight where it's like this. So having it some room to breathe. And especially this type of trade, if you see the risk to reward is crazy. Like you would have aimed for all the way over here. So even if you did a 1 to 2 on this, because this is about 800. So 400 is about right here. That's a 1 to 2. Gives it some room just in case if like wicks like this happen. You would have had a 1 to 2, it would have hit profit off of this first trade. But let's say you wanted to enter in on this trade because there was another opportunity right here. Here, I see a shooting star pattern, buy right here, take profit right there. Stop loss, somewhere about here, 1 to 2, good. So you're looking for this at an area of support. And same thing applies for areas of resistance. So areas of resistance, you're looking for other types of pattern, which this pattern is the exact opposite. Small body at the bottom, long wick at the top. So it's the exact opposite of what we had before. It looked like this, same thing with a 50% mark and everything. It's just backwards. And I can kind of see one right here. It's a little bit at the 50% mark, but a little bit below. So I would consider this as good, especially because it's at like an area of resistance. So you would have looked for sells on this, shorting this, and entry would have been here at the close, stop loss above here, and take profit at the first area of support. So that trade would have hit. I'll show a live example of what I did earlier. Now this one was for a scalping trade. So I did get in on like it was like the right here, this shooting star pattern right here. So if you can see, it actually gave us 2 of them. So we could have got in here, we could have got in here. Either way, I saw a shooting star pattern right in this area right here. It's an area of resistance. Gave the shooting star pattern, and what I did was I got in for a sell right about here. I actually did this live with someone earlier. Had my stop loss right about there, and then take profit was actually, let me think about this. Let me just confirm this, because I think it was right about here, but that wouldn't make sense because I know for sure I had a 1 to 1. Actually, I'll do a screen share here. Let's see if this works out. Okay. It's not, or maybe it might. Hold on. No, it's not. Let me just try one last time. Keeps telling me to install a plugin, but I already have it installed. That's strange. Okay, looks like I can't share my phone screen. But anyways, it was like maybe 15 minutes for like 400. Earlier, there was another trade. I posted it on Instagram. It was like 5 minutes for 500. This was like another scalping one that I was doing, but this is the exact strategy that I'm showing here. Ways that you can go in, you can scout based off of candlestick patterns. Candlestick patterns. So I'll look for another one here that could have been like another potential entry. So we want to look for price action. Let me erase everything. Market was choppy here. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking at the tops and trying to see if I can like quickly spot something out. I probably missed a couple here. But here would have been good. So if you know reversal patterns, you would know that this is like a left shoulder, head right shoulder. And on this right shoulder for an early entry, we could have got in easily with this candlestick right there. We see the body closed below 50%. So entry on this would have been at the close of this one. So it would have been right here. Stop loss could have been at the top of the right shoulder or top of the wick. Perfectly there. And then take profit would have been down here. Good 1-to-2 ratio. And then knowing like head and shoulder patterns, you wait for the breakout for the actual entry. So another trade could have been right here. The distance from here to here is the distance that it would drop. So yeah, that would have been perfect for multiple entries right there. And then potentially, like sometimes I also notice that price will probably stop about halfway, do its retest. And when it does its retest, then I look for another entry right there. It's like 3 entries. So I think that's pretty much it for tonight. By the way, that trade that I placed earlier with AUD USD, it's up 150. It's still moving kind of nicely, but it is pushing up, which is nice. So this type of trade might take a little bit. Let me see. And here's maybe something that will help out as well on like kind of having an idea of how long the trade will take is let's see, what was I looking at? So 4-hour. So this trade might take about so to reach all the way up here, probably about November 3rd. If it does reach all the way up there, it is on the uptrend, so it will usually do that. But the way that I do this is I look at previously that push coming up. That's about the distance that it'll go, and about the same length as well. So like an example here, or let me just draw this out. Let's say if it's going in an uptrend, you see it push up, coming back down. If I'm expecting for this to push back up, I can expect the distance to be about this much. And when it comes up here, I can expect it to come down about that much and about that distance to the right. So that's how I can predict how long it will probably take. So this might take maybe 1-2 days because I'm on the 4 hour. This trade is now up $300. It just went up another 150. It's spiking right now. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something new. Hope you guys made some money on this trade. And if not, you can apply that same strategy that I just showed everyone. Apply it on your charts. Now I'm going to stop doing the live on YouTube, and those that are in here inside the Zoom, I have something privately to mention for those that did stick in here. Okay, stop share.